everyone, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I paint my rendition of a passion flower on this green glass bottle. I have cleaned it off. When you are painting on glass, it's very important that you wash it with soap and water and that you then go over it with rubbing alcohol to make sure that you get off any oils or leftover debris that might be on your item so the paint adheres well to the bottle or to the glass piece, whatever it is you're painting on. Today I'm going to be using a number of brushes. I'm going to be using a Princeton 3/0 round brush, so it's a really tiny brush, a Magic brushes, a number 10 and a number 8. These are both flat brushes. Dotting stylus, my favorite liner brush, which is a Wistonia fingernail brush, and also another one of my favorite brushes, which is a number 4 Deerfoot Stippler. Paint being used, is pale yellow, Thicket, fresh foliage, Wicker White, eggplant, and Magenta. And I forgot one other one, and that is moon yellow. All of these are FolkArt products, a combination of MultiSurface and Enamel paints. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to begin my design by using the fresh foliage and dipping one side of my brush into the Wicker White. And I'm just going to do some blending strokes. I like to just do the corners. You can actually put your colors next to each other and do a swiping motion in between to load your brushes. It's really up to you. And unfortunately these Magic brushes are long, so I have to really be careful that I'm not going to hit the camera. Alright, so I just basically am going to do a petal shape and come in here and then just fill it in with color. And I want to try to make my shapes kind of pointy. I'm sorry, I'm hitting the camera with it. I'm going to keep going and keep turning the bottle. Trying to keep this design not so big because the paper I did it on was pretty big, but I just want to make sure that it stays on the surface here where you can see it as I'm painting it. And I'm not really attempting to do a one-stroke painting at all, so I just want you to be clear on that one. I do know how to do one-stroke painting, but I'm just trying to fill in the petals as best I can to get good coverage. The better your coverage, the more durable your design will be on your glass piece. Alright, so let's just keep going. Keep turning my bottle as I paint. Again, just trying to get in some good coverage here. You just have to be careful that you don't overwork the paint, because if you do that, then that's going to cause it to separate. So I'm trying not to overwork it. Just have to be careful, careful. I'm just doing some light strokes on it just to achieve the opaqueness and desired consistency of my design. Like that, and pull it back. And you could do it like that. I mean, you could do the one stroke. This bottle, for some reason, has a tendency to have an issue with the paint pulling up, so I'm not sure why. I'm just trying to do just light little strokes as I go across it. And I don't have to be too concerned with it because I'm not actually selling this piece. I'm just demonstrating the design, just so you know. And we'll just keep going here. Again, just light strokes. And I'm going to go over this one, pull it back. I just want you to be able to see it the best that you can. It's just a fun pattern, because I try to do really simple designs for you, for beginners or for anybody to be able to paint. So keep that in mind when you're viewing my videos. They're not really meant to be real detailed paintings. They're meant to be easy to learn and easy to create. Okay? Alright, what I'm going to do on this is I'm going to go ahead and hit it with a heat gun so that I can then paint the next layer. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is pick up my number 8 A Magic flat brush, and I'm going to double load it with the Wicker White and the eggplant. And then I'm going to start basically doing another layer of similar strokes to the green ones. Come in here and just nicely lay the next layer. I'm trying not to do too much pressure because I really don't want to have the risk of pulling up the paint underneath. I'm just softly covering it, and then I will continue to turn the piece. Let me move this over. Turn the piece just like I did with the green leaves. And you can just use your brush really to kind of draw in the petal shape as you're going. And you can have more purple in the center if you want, or have more purple to it. Honestly, it's up to you. Just bringing it over, doing nice little strokes over it, like that. Pretty easy, right? And then I'm going to continue on, just turning and painting. Again, just make sure you're not doing too much pressure because you don't want to pull up the paint underneath. Even if you have hit it with a dryer or a heat gun, it still is at risk of raising. Just keep that in mind. Alright, so now I'm going to turn it again. Come over here and do another. Just see how gentle that is. Just real gentle, real smooth. Very smooth design. Very smooth painting. There we go. Couple more to add in. And this is a little more detailed flower than what I typically paint, so it does take a little bit more time to create it, as there's many steps and I'm just doing the one bloom for that reason. It's just crazy. And here we go. And just very, very simple. And you can work these, just like I said, if you try not to overwork the designs, but you can work them more if you want to, like I said, if you want to have more purple in them, you can add some more in here. Add some more white. Like that if you want. I like it. I hope you do too. If you do, let me know down below in the comments section. Alright, next step, I'm going to take the number 4 Deerfoot Stippler. I'm just put it into a single color, which is the eggplant, and I'm going to create a center. Now I am doing this over wet paint, so I can pull the paint up from beneath. There you go. Alright, and then I'm going to take the same thing, the Deerfoot Stippler, put it in directly into the magenta. Because I'm wet on wet, it may not show as well, but I'm going to just tap it in. So there's some in the center. I got it a little heavier coated. And I put it into the Moon Yellow. Do the same thing because I just want it to be just a little bit of each color in the center. That's all I want right now. Wrong brush. I'm going to pick up this brush, which is my long fine liner brush. I'm going to coat it really well with the eggplant, and I'm just going to start doing wiggly lines from the center. Wiggly lines from the center. And I love this brush. I honestly need to get some more. This makes doing this kind of work so much easier than using really any other brush that I'm aware of. I'd like to have a ton of these. Cover that up a little bit. And then you just keep going with it. And I'm just going to keep turning the bottle as I go. I just love how the paint goes on with this brush. This is something that I've had a lot of trouble with in the past, with any of the fine liners or round brushes that are supposed to be good to do line work with. Well, this one is one of my favorites, and I tout about it all the time. I'm just going to keep going here. Going. Okay. Next step, take your dotting brush, your dotting tool. I'm sticking it into the white, and I'm going to go around and just stick a dot, and not completely at the end of what I just painted. Just leave a little bit of the purple showing on the opposite end. And then just go around like that and put in a dot. Then I'm going to go around more towards the closer to the center and just randomly start putting in these white dots. Just trying to do a circle around the center with them is great. And just keep going. And you can make them thin, thick, however you want to do it. I like it to be real noticeable on this one, and I'm sorry I got paint all over my fingers, but I'm putting them on pretty heavy so you can see it, basically. Put them on light around the center, then it's not as easy to see, and I do want this to, be prevalent when looking at this design. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is take my little liner brush, go into the Thicket, and I'm going to then continue on creating the center. I'm just doing some strokes just to create maybe a thicker stamen, I guess is what these are called, and then coming off of it, I can go in the white too, it's fine, like that. I'm going to use the green on the ends, and again it's fine if it's coming up over the white, perfectly fine. And then I am going to go into the moon yellow and just do a little added, kind of a little partial C shape. Whoops, that one went a little probably too much into the green, so I can just go back over it with some green behind it, and it's fine. Alright, one last thing I want to do for the center is just tap around the center, adding in some moon yellow. Again, as you can see, this flower is a little more detailed than a lot of them that I paint. Not hard, but it's just has a little more detail to it, more substance to the actual design. And there you go. Okay, next thing we're going to do, pick up, I'm going to come back to the number 10, a magic brush. I'm going to go into my Thicket, a little bit of the fresh foliage, and then tipping into this pale yellow. And what I'm going to do on here, and this brush might be a little big, but I'm going to go ahead and do it, is do it's kind of a wiggly leaf, but it has more than just one part to it. Because you're going to go up, and you're going to wiggle, go up, come partially down, go back up, come back down, go back up, and then pull it around. You can even do a little flip there. Now, sorry my air conditioner just kicked on. I'm going to do another one down here, come back up, go down, up, I'll swing around, and then I can come back in like that. Then what I'm going to do on here is I want to pull a stem going in either direction for both of these. And then I'm going to come up here and repeat. Now again, keep in mind that my initial design that I created on paper is actually a little bit bigger than this, so there's more room to add more details, more leaves, that kind of thing. So I'm not going to be able to do probably as full of a design as I did on my paperwork, but that's okay. Alright, so then another thing that I did is just kind of doing some, I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this so you can actually see it, just some wiggly kind of, I don't want to say branches, maybe little greenery stems, vines, whatever you want to call them, just kind of peeking out in different directions here. Going to maybe place some out. I can even come down here on this and do some that'll come over the leaves. Come down through the leaves, maybe even just peek out down here. Maybe even just do some that come around the side here a little bit. Just a little sporadic. I'm trying to get as much of my original design in here as possible. I'm going to then come in, add some just really quick little leaves. Just kind of pulling them where they can actually come over, maybe overlap a little bit, no problem. And do the same thing over this way. just to kind of fill it in. Like I said, again, this is not nearly as big of a space as my design was originally created on, so I just have to do what I can, the best that I can. Like that. You can even do just some little pulls from, or out from these if you want. Just so easy. I mean, just kind of take a look and see if I need to add anything else. I'm going to use my little nail brush, the fine liner brush, and I'm dipping it right now into the Thicket. And I'm just going to come about, and these are not going to be real distinct, but I'm just going to come about and do some little swirlies through on this design. If you want it to be more prominent, you could actually do a different color, a brighter color, maybe even add some yellow into it, or the moon yellow, not just the regular yellow. These are kind of fun. They just give a little bit more interest to your design, that's all. I really haven't spent a lot of time adding those to my designs in the past, but anyways, here you go. I hope you like it. Again, this is my passion flower on a green glass bottle. Very fun. Even though it looks pretty detailed, it's actually very simple. Hope that you will give it a try. If you like this video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Before you leave, hit the share button underneath my video. Please share this on your social network with all your family and friends. I would greatly appreciate it. Alright, thanks so much for taking the time to watch my video. And until the next time, please stay safe and healthy. You have a good one.